Now, I used to work at a place you may have heard of. It's over in Kissimmee, Florida. It's called Medieval Times. Have you ever heard of that place? By a round of applause, how many of you have been to Medieval Times? By a round of applause, just so I know how deep I need to explain what happened. How many of you have never been to Medieval Times? A few of you. I'll tell you what it's about. It's held in a big castle in Kissimmee, which, by the way, did y'all know Kissimmee is an Indian word? It means t-shirt shack. But out in the middle of Kissimmee, there is a gigantic medieval castle. And they have a dinner show there called Medieval Times Dinner and Tournament. And what happens is you go in and you meet the king and the queen when you walk in, and they give you a little paper crown. Now that paper crown is a certain color. If you got a green crown, you're cheering for the green knight. If you got a red crown, you're cheering for the red knight. And they put you in sections. Now I worked there, this one for 2 years and the one in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina for 4 years. Now I was the master of ceremonies. They also called him the Lord Chancellor. My name was Sir Gregory. And I spoke like this. Quite a ways from my southern accent. But if this were a circus, I would have been the ringmaster. Now they give you that paper crown and they give you a little flag. And that flag's the same color as the knight you're cheering for. So when your knight comes out, or the MC tells you to cheer and go crazy, you wave that flag and go crazy and cheer and scream and yell and have a good time. Then the knights come out and they do games and they throw flowers out in the audience and they kill each other. Fun. Especially at Christmas time. But anyway, the show didn't start until the MC started the show. So what would normally happen is, as people got settled, people started getting their food. By the way, you eat with your hands. Did you know that? You know why you ate with your hands? Because the servers would explain this to you. They said, in medieval times, they did not have silverware. Hence, here at Medieval Times, we do not use silverware. But they'll give you a Pepsi-Cola like that. But anyway, as they're getting settled down, they're starting to get their food and everything. Music's playing, lights and smoke's coming out in the arena. And here's what's supposed to happen. Curtains open up. 2 trumpeters walk out, long trumpets, and they blow the horn. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And then the curtain opens again, and I come riding out on my horse. And a cloud of smoke billowing behind me. I've got a costume on, man, that thing is fantastic. There's a cape and everything. I got long hair, I got a beard. 2 spotlights hit me. I take my horse out to the middle of the arena. I stop that horse, I spin it around, and I say in my best medieval voice, "My lords and ladies, on behalf of His Grace the King, we welcome you to Medieval Times." And they hit the echo button and it goes, times, 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 times. And people go crazy and they stand up and they wave their little flags and they go nuts and have a great time. And then the show starts. And I bring out people and the show continues like that. This particular night, it didn't exactly happen like that. You see, the management there said if the show starts at 8 o'clock, it starts at 8 o'clock. Not 7:59, not 8:01, it starts at 8 o'clock. Well, we were running a little bit behind getting everybody in. And what I have to do is after I get them in, I run around back to the stables and they've got my horse waiting on me. And he's already saddled up and he's got his horse costume on. They call it a comparison. And I get on my horse and I tell the trumpeters, go out there and let's start the show, and here we go. Now, if you've ever ridden a horse in your life, one of the things you'll learn is always check your equipment. Check, make sure the saddle is on good. Don't get ahead of me. Make sure the bridle is the way it's supposed to be. Well, make sure your stirrups are all good. We were running a little bit behind, and I'm looking at my watch, my medieval watch, you know. And we're about 30 seconds from 8 o'clock. Well, I got on the horse and I realized that my stirrups were a little bit low. And I thought, I'm not going to worry about that, I'm not going to worry about that. I can ride without stirrups. And I told the trumpeters, go, 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 it's showtime. So they stepped down in the arena and they blew the horns. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do, and the curtain opened up. And I gave the horse this, and here we go, and my feet came out of the stirrups like that. Well, I didn't think anything about it, because like I said, I know how to ride a horse without stirrups. My horse had different ideas. He felt those stirrups banging against him like this. And he thought that I was telling him to go faster. So he lowered his head and he went from a gallop into a full run out in front of 2,000 people. Well, we were heading towards the back of the arena. That's where the kitchen doors were. And I pulled back on those reins, and when I did, the left rein snapped. That horse thought that I told him to go the other way, which is immediately what he did, and did not include me in on his plans. So in that instant, that horse took off back that way, and everything went into slow motion. Now, all of these people that work at Medieval Times, they are my friends. They have been over to my house. We would go out. We celebrated each other's birthdays. They were all waiting for me to finish my little bit so the show could go. So everything went into slow motion, and I was like this. No. The horse is going that way. I look like Medieval Man flying through the air. I had my cape behind me, and I hit that dirt like a sack of potatoes. Not only did I hit the dirt, I bounced, and then I rolled, and then I stopped face down in that sand. And yes, the horses do go to the bathroom in that sand. While I was flying through the air, I heard grown men scream. Ah! Women covered their children's faces so that they did not see what was definitely going to be the mangled body of a young man out in the arena. But when I stopped, I could not hear anybody in the audience. The only thing that I could hear was the laughter of my friends who worked at Medieval Times. So in that moment, I had a choice. I could either lay there, get up, and walk out of that arena in shame as people laughed and pointed at me, or I could make a moment out of it. So what I did, I stood up, I brushed the sand off of me, I walked up the stairs to where the dais was, which is where I did the rest of the show from. I picked up the microphone and I said, "What? No applause for an entrance like that? Just one of the many feats of daring horsemanship you'll see in tonight's games and tournament." The place erupted. They stood up, they were waving their little flags and cheering. So I carried on with the show. And later on that night, I was walking through the audience and I'm talking to people and stuff's going, "Hi, good evening, how are you, my lord, my lady?" One man said, "Excuse me, Sir Gregory, come over here." I went over there and said, "Yes." He said, we've been here 7 times. We have never seen the show start with the MC come flying out on that horse like that. He said, "That was remarkable. We've never seen it before." I said, "I hope to God you'll never see it again."